I'm gonna need you guys to pick a side at the end of this video today. What's up guys, it's me Lori. So the other day in one of my group chats that I have with my friends, one of them asked the group if we thought that men should be obligated to stand up and give their seat to a woman on the subway even if the woman isn't pregnant. To me, this is a question of chivalry. If a guy wants to stand up and give me his seat for no reason, I'm not gonna hate him for it. But you guys knew a but was coming. I think that in this day and age, chivalry is voluntary and it's not fair to judge a guy if he doesn't get up for you. To be perfectly clear, I am talking about a guy physically getting up from his seat as soon as he is in the presence of a person with a vagina, not the type of guy who is like racing women to their seat because God forbid they have to stand on their commute to work. I think that is just as ridiculous as a woman or anyone racing anyone to a seat. My rule is if you're close to the seat and you want it, you take it. If not, I'm sure you'll make it to your destination without passing out. And if you can't do that, you probably should have stayed home sick. You guys know me. I'm a big proponent of empathy and consideration. If you are a nice person and you see someone close to you struggling to stand up, like they look super extra tired, or maybe they got a lot of bags or they're struggling with some children, the right thing to do is to give your seat to them. Same thing goes for the elderly, the injured, and pregnant women. But if an able-bodied woman gets on the train, I fail to see the logic that dictates she deserves a seat more than anybody else just because of her gender. My friends disagree with me on this one, and one reason they gave was that women get so few concessions in life that the least men can do is give them their seat. But guess what? Back in the day when men were way more likely to give you their seat, they were also way more sexist. I mean, really? Do y'all want to go back in time to the period when women had no voting rights or were financially dependent on their men and generally just viewed as the weaker sex? Men did do things like tip their hat when they passed by a lady on the street, but that was not a good time for us. And let's face it, only certain women reap the benefits of that culture, so I'm not getting in that time machine. Another argument for giving up the seat was that it's simply good manners. Let me just say, respect for women is definitely a requirement for any man or gentleman. But this concept of good manners, that's just a tool that's used to shame people who aren't privy to what society deems to be socially acceptable. Don't believe me? Just think about how a person with bad manners usually makes all the people around them question how that person was raised and what their upbringing was like. You know what? I hate conversations like that. The fact of the matter is, you can be a nice, respectful, considerate human being without being privy to what good manners means. And if you have good manners, let's not get it twisted. I know tons of people with great manners who grew up in proper households and they're horrible people. All that means is that you can probably manage to fake being a nice person most of the time. My point is, manners are not a sign of goodness. They're a badge of superiority. And you wanna know what really pisses me off in the subway? Like way more than men who don't jump at the sight of a woman? Men and women who don't move or move their bags out of the way when the train is crowded and people just need space to get in. Technically, there's no rule that says it's bad manners to ignore what's going on around you or to jab the person behind you with your elbow or your bag because, hey, if you don't see them, they don't exist, right? Assholes who do things like that are probably people who in their daily life say please and thank you to their friends and know which fork to use at the dinner table. But they are selfish, inconsiderate, and rude as fuck, and that's just one common example. So what do you guys think? Do you think that men should be required to get up out of their seat anytime a woman walks into the room? Or if you're a woman, do you think that men should be required to? For me, I definitely think it's just a question over whether it's required. I, of course, like I said, do love chivalry. I do appreciate it when a man does give me his seat. I just don't think it's necessary. The thing about being a nice person is that part of being a nice person is not playing judge over how nice everybody else is. Let me know what you guys think below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later this week. Bye.